Hey folks, thanks for tuning in. Today we want to take a look at this new NeOld U17 compressor. Just looking at it on the screen, you can tell that's a little bit different than what we're used to seeing when we use a compressor nowadays. It is based on a 1954 design. It's got some pretty cool bits in it. So let's go ahead and just jump right in and talk about it. First off, you'll see we have these density and emphasis knobs. These are actually controlling a soft clipper at the input stage. So density is how much of that soft clipping action we're getting, and emphasis being emphasis on either the low end or the high end, depending on which way you turn it. So that's really neat because it lets you kind of do some tonal shaping before it really even hits compression. And this input is actually giving us both input but also adjusting our threshold at the same time. Now, following that, we have our attack and release knobs that we're used to. However, when I first started playing with it, I thought that this 0.1 was going to be like a 10 millisecond thing. It's actually 100 milliseconds. The fastest release is 50 milliseconds, with this 1, 2, and 3 being 1 second, 2 second, 3 seconds. These red dots that you'll see on both sides is actually an auto setting. So you can set it to both auto attack and auto release. And our torque setting actually controls both our ratio and our knee at the same time. So to the left, you'll get some low ratio soft knee compression. And as you turn that torque knob up, you'll get higher ratios and a sharper knee. Now, this shape and frequency are actually a tilt filter or a tilt EQ, with the frequency defining where that center is, and that shape defining, which side is going up, which side is going down. So to the left, the shape will push up more of the low end of the tilt, and to the right, it will push up more of the high end of the tilt. And this frequency will just kind of define where that middle point, where that 0 point is really. Now, our monitor allows you to check out what the compressor is doing, as opposed to listening to the end result. And then of course over here we have a mix knob, so you can dial in some parallel compression along with the actual output. A little bit different than we're used to, but overall a really nice sound. I do have it on this vocal here, and we'll check it out. I do have it on this vocal here, and we'll check it out dry first.
I know you're scared sometimes, don't know if you're wrong or right. You've been doing things you never thought you'd do, taking it day by day. It seems like you lost your way. Even when you win, it still feels like you lose. I wish that you could see what I see. You're so much stronger than what you think. No sleep, cause if you do, then you dream nightmares, but I'll be there for everything. Just think of me.
So we'll go ahead and insert our U17 and see what that does to the vocal.
I know you're scared sometimes, don't know if you're wrong or right. You've been doing things you never thought you'd do, taking it day by day. It seems like you lost your way. Even when you win, it still feels like you lose. I wish that you could see what I see. You're so much stronger than what you think. No sleep, cause if you do, then you dream nightmares, but I'll be there for everything. Just think of me.
Now, me personally, I do like what that's doing to the vocals. I thought it gave it kind of a nice body. It was some pretty smooth compression, and it just really helped give her some weight. We also have it here on this bass. It's not really compressing on this track, but I did kind of just want to point out some of the coolness of that soft clipper stage. Right now you can see that I have the emphasis all the way to the left and the density all the way up. So it is just kind of smashing that soft clipper at the input. We'll go ahead and 0 this for now. There we go. So we'll listen to the bass line and then we'll pop in our U17, and we'll just kind of play with that emphasis and see what it's doing for us with that soft clipping stage. So we'll go ahead and pop in our U17. We'll just play with these soft clipper settings for a little bit. So as you can see, with it pushed as much as it is, us playing with the emphasis knob, we were really able to bring out some interesting low end artifacts to this. Not necessarily something we'd use for this song, but overall just a really cool, something that's really cool to be able to play with when you're working on any track. It does give you some very interesting kind of distortion when it's pushed to those extremes. Which could be really cool on a lot of sources, especially like drums. Maybe you put this on a bus, maybe you put this on just a kick or a snare and kind of play with just that soft clipper to drive it in certain ways before you even really start to compress it. And then of course you have that tilt filter to kind of help shape how that compression is happening afterwards. So overall, a really new cool plugin. Excited to get to know it a little bit deeper. Just wanted to give you my first impressions. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.